All right, time to feed the hungry viewers. Oh, by the way, morning viewers, another beautiful day. Yep. Hope your five senses work. Health and strength is good or excellent. What? All right, listen to this. Linux AMD patch fixes glacial boot time for some Zen 1 and Zen 2 computers. Time saved ranges from seconds to multiple minutes. Fixes arrive today and get backported to older releases. Says here a bug that sometimes caused boot time on Zen 1 and Zen 2 systems to swell to several minutes was patched today for the Linux 6.13 kernel via Phoronix. Says while Linux can take a while to boot on older hardware, nearly 5 days for the ancient Intel 4004, it's not an operating system known to be particularly slow. Even an optimization made in August that shaved off just 0.035 seconds from the boot time was considered to be noteworthy, as Linux is already highly optimized OS. However, one Nokia employee noticed 4 weeks ago that more than 10 AMD servers running Zen 1 based EPYC CPUs were taking a while to start up. Then it says normally that's that trace, and then it says in brackets, a step of the booting process, close bracket, would be at about 12 seconds with only 1 to 2 seconds variation across boot. But when applying the mentioned patch, the variation increased. The Nokia engineer wrote in an email to an AMD employee and the Linux kernel team, most boots see no impact. On some boot, the time is increased by a few to 10 seconds, and in extreme cases, even by several minutes. Then it says here, the engineer had also determined the issue came down to a change that was added to Linux 6.11 back in May 2023 called load late on boot threads. This was supposed to address microcode update for AMD CPU that have simultaneous multi-thread SMT, which is essentially every Zen-based CPU since 2017. SMT give each core 2 threads, hence the boot thread part of the patch. According to the AMD employee who wrote the boot thread code, Linux originally checked whether a given microcode update was fine to apply on just one thread or needed to be applied to both threads. However, their patch removed this check, which meant microcode update would always be applied to both threads going forward. However, the Nokia engineer argued that microcode updates would be successfully applied to one thread and then applied to the other, even though this was unnecessary and caused boot time to go up dramatically. And it says here, it is claimed that the added late load does no harm on any CPU newer than Bulldozer, yet based on my observation, I think this statement may be incorrect. The Nokia employee wrote in an email to the AMD engineer who wrote the both threads patch. Not even a full month later, the engineer submit a patch to the 6.13 RC1 kernel today that fixes the issue by flushing microcode updates out of the CPU. Out of the CPU memory buffer, preventing the update from going through a second time. According to Phoronix, this patch should also be backported the previous stable release of the Linux kernel, allowing for distros based on the pre-613 kernel to receive the fix for slow boot times on AMD early Zen cores. Considering the problem was only noticed this month, despite existing for over a year, it's probable that it didn't impact the very many users or organization. That not surprising, since the original Zen CPUs debuted in 2017 and Zen 2 chips arrived in 2019. At this point, very few computers are still running these natively old CPUs. I guess it's better late than never. That's the end of the article. Well, any updates help, you know. I mean, for like older CPUs and especially Zen 1 and Zen 2s, you know. So since 2017, we're in 2024, so This should improve the load time, and for Zen 1 and Zen 2 going forward. But this is a nice little update for computers, whether small or big. You know, I mean, whether it's a whether mainframe server or desktop, they will benefit from this. Whether it's a laptop, regular desktop, or any hardware that uses Zen 2, better late than never, man. So one employee noticed one thing, and then the employee talks to the engineer, and that's that. So, and they took care of it. And yeah, it's called communication too. So yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna leave this video for y'all to enjoy. Nice talking to you people again. Chris, no Star Wars.